This is Python Poker, and today we're going to play another video in the Play and Explain series for this 10-0 Bankroll challenge. Just got into this game. It's the first hand here. So we are very multi-way. So what we're going to do is I'm going to check my equity. As you know, the first thing here, we're going to let our opponents, especially multi-way, tell us with their bet sizes what kind of hand that they have. So I do have a pair and a backdoor flush draw, so I'm going to call at least one bet here and see what happens. Maybe we'll pick up some additional equity on the turn. Nope, no additional equity. So we'll see how this player bets out. Looks like they're checking, so at this point I'm just going to check back. The player to my direct left most likely has a jack or an ace, depending on what they call it, or they could have another draw, which does complete. At this point, a one-liner does get there, and every single hand on the board will beat me for my pocket fives. I can't think of one hand that I am beating, so I'm gonna fold this hand, and we will fight another day. At this point, they're betting at least an ace with that kind of bet, but ace would be very thin there, in my opinion, on that. So two pairs probably the minimum that we would want to bet there for that sizing, but even two pairs thin on that one-liner type action. So look at the stats real quick while we we don't want chips. I want my stats. It's about 1,200 hands, 28-13 VP versus PFR. I'm going to try to get my VPIP down. I think I can bring that down a little bit. Maybe I want to try to get to 25% as a goal. And my PFR, I'm going to try to get to 15%. Need to be betting, 3-betting more, or 4-betting, or folding from certain positions here, since I'm just going to check my equity multi-way and see what players behind me do. I do have backdoor equity, so I still have ace high at this point. And I didn't pick up any additional equity. Someone's betting most of their stack multi-way here. I don't think I have the odds to call here with ace high. If I had a flush turn, I would definitely flush or jack turn. We would like to see that, hoping to pick up some outs. But against this sizing and the stack to pot ratio of the opponent, I don't think I'm going to get a cheap river, or hoping for ace high is too optimistic for me at that point. So we're just going to fold, try to find a better spot, and move on from there. I'm going to fold 10-9 under the gun, even though in the ante game I'm still going to fold that. So we're up to $200 for the bankroll. Sorry, not $50. Maybe we're on a sun run, as they say. But either way, we're just taking it one hand at a time and playing our equity, logically making our decisions, looking at reads, looking at sizes, looking at timings, looking at the stats on the opponents. I'm starting to use those a lot more. I'm not used to doing that, but you might see me clicking on the profiles as we're playing a game, trying to deduct based off their ratios, if they're a calling station, if they're a nit, and so on. So that's why I'm kind of trying to change my stats in a way that leads me more to 3-betting instead of cold calling. And being a calling station stats, I want to be more of a aggressive stats with less calling, more 3-bets. So I want to increase my PFR, and my VPIP I want to lower a little bit slightly. I think I'm playing a little bit too much, even though it is the ante game. So we'll see what we got here. So this is an early position raise, pocket fours with an early position raise. I think I'm gonna call my equity here. against their range. I can do okay against an ace high, king high portions of their range and draws. Now multi-way here. I'm just going to take my equity and see if we can hit our set mine or nothing. So this person is leading here. I do not have enough equity or backdoor equity to call this hand, so I'm going to fold. Especially with a lead multi-way. Lead multi-way, they most likely, I'm going to say, definitely possibly a king's, two pair or a set. They could have pocket six in their range. They could have a straight draw, betting their own price. But at this point, we'll see how this hand plays out. Checks all the way around. Let's see if our leader maybe blocks. No, checks. Okay, well, interesting hand here. So ace high and king high is definitely in the range of the middle position player. So that's kind of what we were fighting against pre-flop. Playing our actions. We'll see if they get a call so we can see what they have. But all right. So that is based off the action. That's the most logical hand conclusion there. Donking with the king makes sense. I don't know if I would donk with king 8 off or whatever that was. King 6, I think they had donking. I'm not gonna get ace high off that. And middle position, ace. We would predict that pre-flop here. And so we got a couple limps and a bet over the top. I think that bet is too small. I think maybe at least 6 BBs to 8 BBs would be reasonable, because you see now we have some cold callers here after that, and they get to see a flop for cheap here. So I think that individual would need to increase their sizes there. And we get some donks all the way around here today. It's a large stack, so we'll see how the hand plays out. But flush draws will bet this way, straight draws, king will bet this way, 2 pair will bet this way, a set will bet that way. So the donker is definitely uncapped here. The callers are most likely on a straight draw or flush draw, or they could have a jack as well. So now they're raising here. So 2 pair will raise. Oh wow, call. Half size. So there's definitely going to be stacks on the river here. So we'll see how this hand plays out. We're already at 130 BBs, now 164, given that call. Check. This person needs to go all in. We'll see if we get some callers. We got a caller. And ace, king, jack. Okay. King 10. Well, they had a draw as well. So, okay, I guess it makes sense. They had some additional outs. So, a little aggressive, though, for the king 10. But really strangely played hand. And now this person's tilted on the right. Tilt alert. We're going to go all in. I'm going to be eating some food as well. I'm talking. Hopefully it doesn't bother you too much, but if it does, my apologies. But this is lunchtime poker after all. I probably need to top up, but I'm going to play another hand at 90 BBs before I top up. I guess the minimum top up value is $5. So I guess I don't really, $5, whatever, but it's kind of, I wish there was an auto top-up feature on here, but there's not. So 90 BB stack is, I guess, reasonable for some fold equity, so we can still go all in and make our bigger stacks, cautious of calling 90 BBs from their stack. So we have some equity, but after this hand, I'm going to top up here. I want to play with full stacks to help with my fold equity, and also you can double up right? I don't want to double up with a 50 BB stack. I want to double up to a 200 BB stack or so on. So we will do that after this hand. Fold. And we'll top up now. Just going to top up to 5 BBs. Or to $5. Confirm. Give us a little bit of ammo to get some stacks off these people. I'm gonna continue playing one table. I think I can possibly make it to a 10,000 hands playing one table. I kind of like it because I can condense my focus. And this one I'm gonna be, let's check the pre-flop stats, 57%, 22%. They open up wide. I'm going to raise, especially with the caller. My hand performs well post-flop. I will be folding to a raise over the top. And if these people call, we will build a stack. If we hit our hand, and we go all in here. So I can't call ace-2 offsuit. I'm going to fold here. I cannot call an all-in with ace-2 offsuit. I'm going to be a little bit more disciplined here and put my equity in when I have an equity advantage. I do not have an equity advantage here, but we'll see what we have here. Alright. King 2 versus Jack 7. So that's how we're going to play this game on this table. So it looks like ace-2 suited was a monster in that situation. But I'm not going to play hope poker, as they say. I'm going to play stronger ranges here and take the long game, take it one step at a time, make my decisions whenever I have positive equity, and I have the clear advantage here, because as we can see here, when they went all in, they could have a situation like this. I could have been dominated with a situation like this. Kings, ace, king. We can't speculate there for these people's ranges. They're so wide, and I'm not going to play it like that, folks. We're going to play the fat pitch algorithm method, which is long run focused. Let my opponents make mistakes and capitalize off those mistakes. Positive EV decisions. Scan my game tree of previous nodes where I have these leaks and like overcalling, and maybe I would have overcalled ace-2 suited in the past. But we're gonna take a step back, guys. We're just gonna play on our terms. We're not gonna let these people with their weird sizes and their all-ins dictate us. No, we're gonna fight logically and with positive EV decisions. And I'm not gonna flip 70 BBs. You know how long it takes to earn 70 BBs if your win rate is 5 to 10 BBs per 100? Well, 70 BBs divided by, let's say, 10 is 7 BBs per. So that's 7 BBs, and that'll take about, so what is that? So 5 to 10 BBs for 100 to earn 70. So yeah, 700 hands. And me playing one table at a time, 700 hands is going to take me about 7 hours or so, right? If I have to play a grind out sessions where, you know how it goes with variants. We could have sessions where we're folding all day. We could fold 700. I'm not going to fold 700 hands, but you get the idea. I'm not going to let this person dictate my win rate. I'm going to dictate my win rate, and with logical decisions, and just playing the right way. And I can now note that the aggressive actions of how they go all in, and we're going to capitalize when they do it again, because if I notice that if these individuals want to go all in and play for stacks, they're going to do it again. We're just going to wait. We're going to wait for the right time. We're going to wait for the fat pitch. All right, and this is definitely not a fat pitch. Even if we limp around, to me, usually they do complete. So if everyone limps around, the big blind usually does complete as well. So we get to see a relatively cheap flop for this huge ante game, 10 BBs. So we got to call 0.5 BBs to see a 10 BB flop. We like that. Good odds. Good odds for us to get 4-4 queen or something like that. Queen 4. We can dominate these people. So yeah, I don't think we can call here with this, even though the ranges are very wide, but it looks like everyone is getting condensed here with this bet size. We'll see how the action plays out. Person to my right could have anything the way they're playing. They're 50% VPIP. This person, 50%, 65% versus 50. Let's check and see what these ranges are. Probably at least ace high. Maybe a flush draw, maybe a 2. I could have a 2 at this point. Ace. Okay. Person to my right probably has an ace. You may probably have an ace as well. Looks like we're going to chop this one up. We'll see how this one goes. And all of the 10 will help the aces with their kicker. Oh, so one of them had an ace. Yeah, but we did have a flush draw. So they kind of bet their own equity there for their flush draw. Okay, so you can see how the range is kind of wide there. All right. Now you want to bet. So you want to cold call. I'm going to be conservative here. We got to open from under the gun. Snap call. And lots of actions behind me. Oh no, look at that, diamonds. I could have a straight flush draw. But in the long run, I think that's the wise decision. We'll see if another diamond hits, but you can't post hoc make an analysis there. And now look, there's a paired board, so even if we hit our diamond, we're not going to be 100% there. We could lose to a full house. There are some wheel draws out there as well, but let's see. Wow. Okay, so pretty decent sized pot. We'll see. A king is definitely in the range of the under the gun opener. Ace 5, king 6. Wow, look at those. Okay, so surprised that pot's not a little bigger here for the ace 5. With the trips with the ace kicker. This should probably be a little bigger pot, but who are we to judge? We folded, so all we can do is let these fools play against themselves. Sipping on the nectar and pulling in the wrapper closer. Alright, so guess the lunch. I am not going to say the lunch today. If you want to guess, put it in the comments. See what we have today. I'm not even going to give you a hint. If someone can guess what I have today, they're going to get a prize. I don't know what it is yet, but someone comments what I have, and they announce they do that correctly, we'll give them some type of prize somehow. Limper. Jeez. Do we want to punish this limper? What's their stats? 42 and 0. 0 pre-flop raises, so they limp everything. Got a lot of people behind me are isolated. I'm going to call. I'm going to limp too. I'm going to play tricky. betting, targeting ace highs, pocket fives, lower pocket pairs than a 10. If someone calls, they could be on a flush draw, it could be on a king, it could be on a better ace, they could be on ace 10, it could be on queen 10. Alright, so there's a 5 comes multi-way. I'm going to check my equity down here. I think I'm a little too thin here. A queen does come. A king will be logically to bet. I'm just going to check down and see what happens. Maybe we have ace highs. Oh, wow. Okay. We all chopped that one. But I was ahead when we bet there, so we kind of targeted what we wanted to target, I guess. Unlucky for us, getting a chop there on that action. I think if we 3-bet that hand, we would have took it down pre-flop. Probably should have 3-bet that hand. Jack 10 is a good hand, even if it's offsuit. Of course, a good drawing hand. But, you know, sometimes when you call a limp, it, as you can see, monkey see, monkey do, as they say. Everyone will, the probability is higher for seeing a flop there. Oh, motorcycle going by. Alright, so we're still chewing up some food there. Sorry about that. A little delay in the commentary, but we got a nice little bet here. 72 BBs over the top. Polarizing for sure. At this point, they're saying, well, we have a something that can outdraw a straight, or we have a straight already. The person that would call would have to be a flush draw or a straight draw. Possibly a set will definitely call. Having a hard time. Full houses are out there. Most likely a straight. I'm going to put, even though I didn't really follow the action too much, but judging by the bet sizes, full house or straight. And they ended up having the straight there. Makes a lot of sense from the action. So we didn't really get many big pots today, but we did get a chance to talk through some of the action, analyze some strategy, that kind of thing. But I'm going to play till the blinds, and we're going to wrap it up here for today. It's a shorter session today, but I want to have at least one live session of commentary. At least Monday through Friday, so we can get our real-time thoughts out there and get some feedback in the comments if you see a hand that I played incorrectly. Hopefully I'm providing some value for some players that are just beginning, to give some ideas on what to think through when you're at these stakes here. These smaller stakes, the micro stakes still, but we still have to so we still have the under the gun between us. I was just making sure I didn't get to the blinds. But we'll play under the gun, and then we'll wrap it up today. But hopefully these videos provide some value. I also want to reciprocate having you comment as well to help me get some value. King 8 offsuit. We're going to fold this in, and then we're going to stand up. And we're going to call it a day. So we'll check the bankroll and see where we are. 197. So we started at 200. So we went down $3 or so. Whatever. It is what it is. We didn't do any big mistakes. Shorter session today, so we didn't get to see as many hands. But those are the kind of things that happen. So we'll play some more hands tonight and get our hands going higher, get our decisions a lot better in the future for these practice sessions that we do. We talk through these actions. We can help define our opponent's ranges and our thought process. And so maybe tomorrow, the next hand, we play a little better It says all compounds. The clarity, your mental game, is going to compound with every decision we think through. And even if we don't have a big, we get a stack here and there, even if that doesn't happen, we're still going to improve ourselves in the future. So thanks for watching, and guess that lunch for that prize, and we'll see you next time.